Okay, this is a sound test on the Z30. Hey up and welcome to this video. Now, on the last video I told you how I was trading in some of my gear to get the Nikon Z30, and as you can see, we do have the Nikon Z30 and it's filming its very first footage as we speak. So I sold some of my gear that had been sitting in a cupboard to MPBcom, and a very simple process: go online, enter all the kit you've got and put the condition you think it's in, and you get an instant quote, and this was my quote. So happy with that. I booked a pickup slot, so it was picked up on the Wednesday. It was delivered to MPB 27 minutes past 11 on the Thursday. I got a message saying they'd got it, and within a couple of days they'd have a look at it and check it was okay. The following day, about 1 o'clock, I got an email saying they've adjusted the quote. Okay, and they adjusted it from this to this, which in the grand scheme of things I was happy with. This kit had just been sitting in the cupboard, unused, unloved. Don't get me wrong, Fuji X Pro 1 was a good camera and the Fuji lenses are really good, but I just couldn't get on with it. I never got to really like it. So we recycled it into cash. I clicked on the accept button and that cash was on its way into my bank account. In the meantime, I ordered the Nikon Z30 using my credit card. I always use credit card to buy major purchases because it gives you that extra protection. So I ordered it Saturday morning from Amazon. They had the best price and it was delivered Saturday night. So the MPB experience was pretty good, pretty smooth. I'll certainly think about doing that again with all the other kit that I've got in the cupboard. So what got me to buying the Z30? And it's a lot to do with this, the Pocket Osmo. And before we start, don't get me wrong, this is a fantastic piece of kit. Look how small it is. Does an amazing job at capturing 4K at 60 frames. It's light, it's small, it fits in your pocket. But after making 84 YouTube videos, you kind of learn what its limitations are, and it does have limitations. Number one, battery life. I went out on a shoot last year and it was -2, and I was filming at 4K 60 frames per second, and after 10 minutes it died. And I like 4K 60 frames because it's nice and smooth. So I always want to try and film in that setting, but the battery life on this is not good, not good. If you film 1080p, 24 frames, then it probably will last 30-35 minutes, but anything else and it dies. So battery life is restrictive on this. Number two, while it's small, the screen is very small, and when I'm filming like this, I'm like, am I in the frame? Have I dropped out the frame? And the other thing, when I'm doing a piece to camera like this, I set this on a tripod. So I set it on this tripod, have a look at the scene I'm filming, then I go and stand somewhere in the scene, then do a test shot to make sure I'm in the frame and my head's not chopped off. And that's all faff. That's faffing around that adds to the process of filming these YouTube videos. So yes, the screen is very restrictive. Good morning. Okay, you've got a fixed lens on here. You do have the ability to zoom in using this little toggle here, but it's a digital zoom, so you start to lose quality. Now you can also zoom in by editing, so if I step back and I edit zoom in here, even on the Z30, we're going to lose image quality. So that's another restriction we've got with this. Then we come on to a couple of niggles. The Osmo 2 has got an extra button at the side. Now when I push this into the holder, let's get the holder. When I push this into the holder to protect it, I push it in, and where I push it in, I am to catch the button, the extra button. And when you do that, the gimbal comes on and it goes into protect mode, and you have to then faff around recalibrating it. So that button really should have been at the front with the other two buttons, DJI, if you're watching. And hopefully if they bring a Pocket 3 out, they'll move that button. There's no guarantees. So another annoyance with it, when you're filming and it records the footage onto the memory card, it records a second file for each segment. So you end up with all these in the file. And they're no use whatsoever. I'm not even sure what they are, but they're absolutely no use. So again, you have to faff around deleting those files. Waste of time, waste of memory card space as well, because that space could be better used for the footage that you could shoot if the battery life was longer. It's in no way weatherproof, so we have got water dropping from the trees at the minute, and no doubt today the forecast is going to be rain later, so it's got no weatherproofing whatsoever. And that's the niggles that I've had. They're the limitations that I've found using the Pocket Osmo 2. So in comes the Nikon Z30. Okay, we're now filming with the Pocket Osmo 2, so hopefully I am in frame. So let's put the limitations up that I had with the Osmo, and let's talk through why I bought the Nikon Z30. So battery life on it, not long enough. On this, we've obviously got a separate battery that we can just pull out and replace with a fresh battery. So battery life there is going to be endless. Just depends how many batteries you buy. Now the batteries, the Nikon original batteries, are currently £74 for this. Because I'm tight, I'm going to try and run on one battery and see how I go. However, Nikon, there's no battery charger with it. Every Nikon camera I've bought, I've had a battery charger. And the port here, so you actually charge it on board. So you plug a USB-C connector in here and charge it like that, which is not ideal. And I've just been charging it in my bag, or topping the charge up with my power bank. And I don't like the connection here. This connection feels really weak. So I've ordered a battery charger. So already I'm spending extra money on this camera. But battery life is going to be way better on this. It really is. Now I've bought a memory card, and the memory card is going to give me this much recording time. So I will need to achieve that, I will need probably a couple of extra batteries. So I bought the kit version of the Z30. It comes with a DX 16-50 zoom, so I'll be able to zoom in and out when I'm filming. Won't have to be digitally zoomed, and I'll maintain the picture quality that I want to maintain. Also, you can obviously buy different lenses for this, so we haven't just got the choice of one. I think there's 3 DX lenses for it so far. And you can also buy, if you wish, an adapter which allows you to fit all your f-mount lenses. I don't think I'm going to need to do that, I'm pretty sure. So that avoids the digital zoom in limitations of the Osmo 2. It is partially weather sealed. This is a bit vague. I did watch an awful lot of reviews on YouTube, and some people say it's weather sealed and some people don't. Nikon kind of say it's partially weather sealed, but so I'm a bit confused with that, but it's a little bit more weather sealed than the Osmo. So one of the big advantages of this camera is the screen. The screen, obviously compared to the Osmo, is massive, and it also turns round, so you can comfortably vlog, make sure you're in the frame with it. You can also see it at a distance on the tripod, and you can see exactly where you are in the frame. So it does turn round, so you can have it facing you like that. You can have it facing you when you're vlogging. You can have it on the back of the camera like that. So massively versatile. Focusing is really good on this. It's got eye detection, animal detection, all sorts of detection modes. It absolutely nails the focusing. So far, this is my first time out with it. In my research, are there any niggles with this that we've came with? Well, it gets hot. If you use this for a long period of time, it will get hot. It is limited to 4K 30 frames per second, but I'm not worried about that. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to use this in conjunction with the Osmo. So the Osmo will do 4K 60 frames. This will do 4K 30 frames per second. No gimbal with this, so we've got to have a good filming technique to get things nice and smooth. You can buy a gimbal setup. You can buy a gimbal setup. It's going to set you back another 260 to 360 pounds. So yeah, Christmas is coming up. I don't know whether I'm going to need it, to be honest. I think if I get my technique right filming with this, I don't think I'm going to need a gimbal. I think that's going to be more extra kit to charge up and carry. We'll see, time will tell. What we'll do now, we'll go back to the computer, and I want to talk about the out-of-box experience with this, because it was a bit of an experience, but a good one. So before I took this out of the box, I was quite expecting it to feel a little bit plasticky, maybe a little bit like a toy, but I was pleasantly surprised when I picked it up because it felt very Nikon. The grip, it's superb. It just fits in the hand, and it's typical Nikon. So it's magnesium alloy body. That's why it's got a little bit of weight with it, and the weight feels just nice for filming. I did a bit of practice videoing, and the weight just feels perfect for doing the job. So out of the box, I used it on auto, and straight away I was taking still shots, I was filming video, and going into the menu system, again, that's typical Nikon. So if you've used Nikon digital cameras, the menu system is familiar. You're away, you can start to change and customize it how you want it to be. Now, to start with, I'm going to use it on auto until I start to decide how I want to customize it. Now, one learning from the video was that my face was probably a little bit too red, so I'm going to have to look at the white balance in the settings to correct that. The actual quality that I can see is really good. It's really good. Let's look at side-by-side comparison of the Osmo footage against the Z30 footage, and the Z30 was 4K 30 frames per second. The Osmo was 4K 24 frames per second, and because of the size of the sensor, you would expect the Z30 to look cleaner, and it looks super clean. Really, really pleased with that. YouTube videos do get compressed. You might not see the exact quality that I can see, but I can assure you it's crisp. And the focusing as well. In the video, I positioned a tripod in view, and I went away to pick up the case for the Osmo, and the camera focused on the tripod, and then when I came back into view, it focused on me. Superb little piece of technology. Well pleased with this. A really good buy. Is this a transition into mirrorless? No. This is for video for me, and I'm still going to use my D850 for my still photography, because the quality this delivers is what I want and what I need. But this is a great camera, and in some of the reviews I've seen, people say it's a beginner's camera, and I think that's an insult to this. This is a very capable photographic machine, very capable for still and video. 20 megapixel sensor, and it gives, I've had a quick look at the still shots, it does give some really good quality images, but not to the resolution of the D850, which is obviously full frame against DX. Now, you could, in theory, take a pano with this, probably vertical pano of a scene, and you would be able to achieve close enough the resolution of a single shot on the D850 if you really wanted to. So for me, so far, auto is working. I need to work on the red face, but happy with all the other colours that have come out in this video. I have now got the battery charger, because my only concern is that USB-C connector on the side of the camera. I think that is very, very weak. Otherwise, everything else, really happy. Looking forward to delivering some better video content for the channel. No excuse now. No pressure either. So, in this woodland, it made a very nice backdrop for filming the video. And before I started filming, I did take a few still shots with the D850. And I thought we'd end the video on those still shots in a little slideshow. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, please consider joining the channel, subscribing to the channel. Give the video a like if you've liked this content. If you have you got a Z30? What do you think of it? Are you thinking of buying one? Have you got the Osmo? Are you thinking of trading up away from the Osmo, or doing what I'm going to do, use them side by side? So we'll go into the slideshow, and hopefully the next video we'll start to see some autumn colours coming through. We're not quite there yet. This woodland, the bracken had gone, but the trees were mostly still green. So here's the slideshow, and I'll see you later.